gosh. Oh, wow.
Joshua loves it.
Chantel has a horrible history and backstory on falling down steps.
That had nothing to do with steps.
But your sprained ankle.
And I didn't fall.
We've seen them as far away as Florida and Arizona. They're really great to see, and we've seen lots of them today. Also, we offer in the krill that humpbacks feed on. Humpbacks are filter feeders. Their mouths are full of this stuff called baleen, which drains the water and gets out the little shrimp and krill bird. Sometimes you'll see a big humpback with a little one. That'll be the mommy whale and her calf. Humpbacks are single mothers. They raise the calf. But we've also seen orcas, even within the fjord. Orcas are very neat to see. They're sometimes called, they spend their whole life within a pod, like a family. Living in a pod allows them to cooperate, to herd together fish, or to gang up and take down even. They're very great climbers. You can see them clinging to the cliffs. If you one-sided from the ship or from the tour boat, someone will try to steer clear to get how some of the natives here believed that the whales were our brothers and our sisters. They knew that the whales weren't fish, but they were mammals like us and gave birth to live young. They followed the whales into the deep ocean. The natives could survive in the ocean for days or weeks at a time following the whales. Following the whales in the migration path, well, that's probably how they discovered the Hawaiian Islands. Okay, there was a raised hand somewhere in the middle of the room. Okay, well, to finish off, it's like a trip into the Ice Age. You'll be in the heart of an enormous rainforest. You'll be surrounded by enormous glaciers that are slowly carving this land. Some of the glaciers are retreating, but some of them are advancing. It's a change. You're likely to see all kinds of wildlife. We've already seen many, many eagles today. There's a chance today we'll see more whales, mountain goats, and there's a very good chance you'll see seals, and the seals are just really cute. Any other questions? Well, if there are, you can find me anytime on the ship. Looks like your boat's arriving. I give another lecture Saturday at 1:45 and one at Monday at 9. And yeah, if you want to know more, I am the author of this best-selling book about discovery of Alaska. You can pick them up after my lectures, same price as Amazon. We don't have to pay shipping and tax and get them signed by the author. Hey, it looks like your boat's approaching. Thank you so much for listening. I know you'll have a wonderful time.
Exactly why I want my phone. Don't hold your phone out there. Put it back, please. Put your fingers off there.
Oh, look how blue that one is, with the green going up behind it. This is the most amazing thing. I always have to be careful. I don't just enjoy the view through camera. Oh, yeah, they're there. There's gotta be other fishy. There's a bazillion seals.
Seal, 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 seal. There are a whole bunch of these.
They're all over the place. The blue at that base in the right corner is just amazing. Look at the very top, Sissy.
Yep, they're all seals.
I had just turned my camera off, Sissy.
No orange falling.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, there's... Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh wow.
Don't you love global warming?
Holy cow. Oh, there's gonna be more, I bet you. Look at the wave. It's a tidal wave. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh wow.
Don't you love global warming?
Holy cow. Oh, there's gonna be more, I bet you.
Watch all the steel boys.
Look at it hit the rocks on the right side.
Oh wow.
Oh, they're on that side. Here comes the wave from that huge one falling. Gail, you see the waves coming? So how was your trip up the fjord? Yeah. Did you ever think you'd go on a cruise and the ship would hit an iceberg? Is there lots of screaming? Did they let the women and children over? What do you think, Chantel? Yeah, you did a good job putting together an exciting cruise.
Awesome.
What recommendations would you have for wives and moms?
Oh, wow.
You don't have a wife?
Not right now.
No.
Okay. Do this excursion. Like, you're gonna spend money on one excursion. I think this is...
Talked with a couple guys at the blackjack table. They hadn't even heard that there was this boat that didn't get off the boat that we even close.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Captain Neil of the Wheelhouse. Started to welcome you guys aboard as soon as we left the cruise ship. But I was kind of busy driving through some ice, trying not to hit it too hard. Just wanted to welcome you guys aboard the St. John this fine evening here in Tracy Arm.
It's like the patterns and the crevices and the cracks and water dripping down. There's also patterns in the vegetation. When there's nothing to put it in scale, you don't know if those are bushes or giant trees. There is some sunshine trying to come out here. So I'm going to be gearing up, wanted to get some photography of approaching the ship to fellow vloggers, photographers, videographers. What I recommend you might consider is doing a majority of your photography on the way out, because as you can see, majority of people are now inside, both cabins up and down. So that's one thing to consider. Pretty much enjoy the view and start composition thoughts and ideas. Then on the way out, there won't be as many people on the deck.
Heading away from South Sawyer Glacier. So the big ones are icebergs. So icebergs are going to be the largest pieces of ice, and they are going to be 5 meters or larger, or 15 feet or larger in width. Next, we have our bergy bits. Bergy bits are going to be those medium pieces of ice. Those are going to be anywhere from 1 meters to 4 meters. And then we have our really teeny tiny pieces of ice. These are going to be called our growlers. Kind of like the glacier pieces of ice that are in your drinks that we're serving you. Balloon parts were parts of the glacier, were parts of the iceberg that were once beneath the surface. And then they have recently flipped over, exposing them to that oxygen. Now we all know that there is oxygen underneath the surface, but there's not nearly enough oxygen to fill those porous holes that are in that ice. And then once it flips over, that oxygenated part is now underneath the surface, and that deoxygenated part is now going to be able to absorb that oxygen. We don't know exactly how long it takes from ice to go from blue to white, because every day we come here in Tracy Arm, it looks a little bit different. And we don't have trackers on these icebergs. We don't know which ones are which. And it looks a little bit different each and every day, even if we come day after day after day. And then when we were talking in terms of South Sawyer Glacier, those are really pretty and famous glacier blue parts were parts that were recently covered by a piece of ice that has calved off of South Sawyer. We had a very, very large calving event that happened. That's probably one of the biggest ones I've seen from South Sawyer this entire season.
That's amazing.
And so that ice that was behind that pieces that calved off is now exposed to that oxygen. So now it's going to turn white, just like the piece that calved off did.
For those of you that want like a size reference for how big some of these icebergs are, this boat that we're on is 78 feet long and about 33 feet wide.
Wonder how tall those mountains are.
And then up to our port side, this is Sawyer Island. Can you guys take a wild guess? Where did South Sawyer Glacier get its name? Sawyer Island. So South Sawyer Glacier was once at this point. It was once here at Sawyer Island. And then if you look at the path that is leading back to our, let's call that 3 o'clock now, that is the path that goes back to North Sawyer Glacier. So South Sawyer Glacier and North Sawyer Glacier were once one glacier, and up until this island, they were one. And then as they have continued to recede, they split off and have more recently exposed Sawyer Island. A couple of you were asking me if South Sawyer Glacier is currently still receding. The answer is yes. South Sawyer Glacier is going to be receding about 300 feet a year. So about 15 years ago, South Sawyer Glacier was a mile larger than it is now. And then everyone leads with, what's it going to take for these glaciers to start growing and to start producing ice again instead of losing ice? So right now we are getting about 65 feet of snow in these mountains around Tracy Arm. We are needing a little over 200 feet of snow a year for South Sawyer to start producing ice at a rate that will make South Sawyer grow again rather than recede. So we are not even at the halfway mark for the amount of snow that we need for these great glaciers to continue growing.
Look at that. There's a rainbow coming in. Blue iceberg. The biggest cab of the season. What an incredible trip. Thank you, Carnival. Thank you, Sugar Mama. Yes, folks, that is a rainbow over my shoulder. Just disappeared. We had the biggest calving of the glacier in the entire season. The guy told us. Rainbow coming in over there. Blue icebergs there. Just a fantastic, fantastic day today. Well, the fog and the rain have moved in here recently. I think we've been through like 2 or 3 different seasons. Where the citizens at? And we just had rainbows. Wow, there's still a rainbow coming through over there. You may not be able to see it. Right there. Okay, one thing I can tell you is bring as much gear as you can, especially hand gear. Go for another. I should have gone for another heavier layer. I've got a shirt, a sweater, another sweater, this pokey jacket. Not that waterproof though. But yeah, bring more gear than you think. I brought more gear than I think I thought I needed, but I really should have had another layer.
So you got 15 minutes.